Thank everybody for coming to the first birthday of the Thomist Poets Reading Series, featuring two of the very first people who read, including the very first person, John Bishop, and our good friend Maura Harrison, an early reader. And they're going to be tag teaming today, doing a joint reading to celebrate our 1-year anniversary. With that, I'm going to ask John to introduce himself and kick us off, and he's going to read a few poems, then Maura is going to take over, then we're going to switch back again. So we'll mix things up to keep it interesting. And John?
Hey, everybody. So I'm John Bishop, a graduate of the MFA program at the University of St. Thomas. I live in New Hampshire with my wife, Sarah, who is on the call right now. And I'm going to be reading from my new book of poems that I'm working on. So I'm just going to get started. All right, so this one is called Fiat Lux. Right now, most places on this earth are dark. The lights are out, the sky an endless void. Some people are asleep just for the night or for eternity, but then it comes. A small red line amid the constant dark, and then it blooms to orange, then to bright, warming everything and waking people up and sending light into and through their veins, illuminating every cell and pore, and most importantly, nourishing their souls so they can wake and love the world just as it is and was and will someday be. All right. Thank you. This one is called Drinks. He comes into the bar. I think he's new. I notice too he's stumbling toward his stool. I see he's got a fresh pressed suit, nice shoes, a C-suite guy, or maybe something like a financier, a manager of sorts. Perhaps he teaches or runs a store. He seems both young and old. I'm wary though, because it seems like he's very drunk. He's walking like he is at least. He sits. I ask him how he's doing, how's his day, and then he looks at me. He asks for beer. I smell his breath, there's nothing there. So I say sure and pour him a tall glass. He drinks his beer. It's nearly time for me to close, and so I want to rush him out. I say or suggest that I'm happy he's come here, and I wish he'd come in sooner. I like to get to know the people who come in. Monday nights are slow, I say. It's only you tonight. But anyway, how's the drink? I bought it from a local brewery. He takes a sip. He clears his throat. He gets my point. Outside, the world is blue and on its way to dark. I empty out my till. Hey, man, he says, I've got 5 months to live. I look at him, his cracked face, his lack of hair. I hear the softness in his voice. I wanted to go home, but somehow I know he's telling me the truth. I stop, sigh, then I relent. I pour him one more drink. Thank you. This one is called St. John the Baptist in Prayer. I'll feast forever on your luscious gifts. I shut my eyes, quiet my lips, my ears, and this is what I see in silent prayer. The flowers blooming, booming to the sky, all green, all blue, all one and in within him. All this, the puffs of grass that burst into the trees, the bark, the roots, the stately leaves, and then the sun, the yellow constant sun, fading though it is, evening in an hour. God, keep me focused, fed, please keep me clean. I have so much to do. Help me help them see. All ye who hear, the Lamb is coming soon. He'll increase like the seeds at season's end, and he'll bring new, fantastic growth, while I, withered brown, will fade, will shrink, will die. Thank you. This one is called Cut Flowers. And there they are, emerging from the fields, these roses planted not too long ago. They're red, bright red, like blood inside our veins, the blooms. The rest is also brown and green, just like the ground from which the plants emerged. They're healthy, strong, and soon they will be picked, all cut and packed and shipped, sent off to stores. Then dipped in water so they'll stay alive, a facsimile of life at least, since plants severed from the roots are surely dead. In any case, they'll wait and wait and wait. Then someone will collect and purchase them, a thoughtful gift to please an eager spouse. She'll smile, smell them, put them in a vase. where they'll sit and be displayed, an accent to the table in the kitchen. They'll stay until they start to brown and wilt and fade, no longer able to play act at life. The water will be dumped, the flowers tossed, and at the farm some roses bloom again. They wait until they're cut and shipped and sold. This one is called Night Shift. She never thought that she'd be doing this, and yet she's here. She's slinging burgers, fries, and she meets all kinds. Of course, she serves the forlorn drunks, the hungry kids, and then the husbands who got sent to get their wives some late night food that they had craved all day. The shift is long, the people sometimes mean, and so she tells them each a little joke, like how their meal will cost $1 million, or how she kids she won't get them their food. Some pity laugh, the others, they get mad. They say, just stop the bits, I want my fries. She's happy to oblige, but it still hurts. It still hurts to be rebuffed like that, because she feels when she puts on her stupid shirt and tag that she becomes a piece of the machine and out onto the register they use. But that's okay, she knows that she'll press on. That's all she has to keep on pressing on. She left her school, left her family, left her town. She tried her hand at open mics, but she never caught a break. And so she waits until it's time to go, and then she'll leave when it's still dark. And as she's driving home, the blackened sky turns blue and bluer still before it bursts to light before she sleeps. Thank you. This one is called Graduation. The sky an orange haze, the light a jewel, the crowds outside amid the evening cool, and sees the final student walk the stage. Applause and cheers, and each has left the cage of youth. The students are now free. They go to see their people, everyone they know, family and friends. Their teachers stand and hope for thanks for pictures. Nothing is planned. Their purpose is fulfilled. They have no role. They'll wait and then go home. There's no control with stuff like this, and then come fall, they'll start again. They'll do their best. More will depart. The ritual is the same throughout the years. The teacher teaches, then he disappears. So I'll do one more for now, then hand it off to Maura. Reunion. I walk into the room and see cheap eats and caffeinated drinks that aren't so fresh. I walk back out. I'll wander aimlessly. I'll kill some time and then I'll go back in. I see the peppy greeters at the door. They hand out name tags, say it's been so long. Their smiles break their cheeks. They were the ones who were always too involved. That hasn't changed. I haven't been to campus since I left. In school, I was naive. Life had no flaws, the brightness of it all. Now it's so drab, like newsprint left too long out in the light. I thought that coming back would bring a spark, that it would feel the same as it once did 10 years ago. We each exchange hellos and catch each other up, our jobs, the things we did that come to mind, a story here and there, like when we skipped our class to see a midday game. We laugh our hollow laughs, and then the night is done, and we pretend we'll see each other soon, but it's not true. It's something we all say but never mean, like how we'll all go home tonight and say to those we love, tonight I had a blast. I walk back to my car. Along the way, I see my freshman dorm. It's closed and cracked, about to be torn down, apparently to make room for a new gymnasium. I see a sign nearby the student hall that says, Professor Jones, you will be missed. Retired, dead, it doesn't say, and I don't care to know. A lone leaf blows and hits my face before it's rushed into the sky. A way to flee the work site at my dorm. I start my drive. There's traffic on the road. We're stopped, but it's a lie. We never stop. Thank you.
Thanks, John. And of course, I'm always envious of Maura because she is also a visual artist. And I cannot draw or paint to save my life. But Maura, you want to take us?
Hi, thank you, Christopher, and thank you, everyone. I'm so excited to see everyone here because I think I know almost everybody who's logged in. So Thank you so much. I'm very excited. And thank you, John, for starting things off. Those are great. So I wanted to start with kind of going with what Christopher said, another little project that I have where I like to take a lot of photographs, and I also I've started to write heroic couplet captions for the photographs, and as a way to kind of combine both the visual aspect of photography and the poetic side, and kind of bring them together, kind of to really celebrate kind of the wonder and the beauty of what caught my eye to take the photograph. What's the magic that I see in the image, and can I add some little poetry to invite people into it? So I do have an unpublished manuscript called Heroic Wonder, where it's a collection of some of these images. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm just going to not subject you to too many of them, but about a sample of them to show you what I'm up to. And if this is like up your alley and you like it, I invite you to find me on Substack, mauraharrison.com or mauraharrison.substack.com. And that's what you'll find if you follow me there, is the combination of the visual and the poetic. So I'm going to try to share my screen. So this is one of them. The first one I want to share. It was actually artwork that was published on the cover of the Autumn 2023 Vita Poetica journal. So if you haven't discovered that journal, I encourage you to find them. The URL is there at the bottom. So kind of soak that picture in there, and here's my couplet for it. March maples fling their seeds, fingertip flames that flail about, announcing springtime games. Puckered in place, white wispy fans of spring slowly release and summer everything. Bold buttercups blur summer's perfect sky. The focused foreground helps us simplify. The bald-faced hornet wears a sunny face and shoulders deep blue midnight, place to place. Lines of the vein from dragon and the leaf mark pieces of the whole stained glass motif. Okay, and this is one of my favorites. I love this photograph. Yes, it's a wolf spider. Fabulous from afar, round spider sack contains her world, her gathering wolf pack. And this was one of my finds from this fall. This is the fruit of an American persimmon tree, which I found on the battlefield near my house. So kind of, you can see I kind of got into photographing kind of the different aspects of this tree and this fruit. Love hanging ripe and then lingering more, blooded to bursting, bounty's sweet encore. The fall before the fall, September's cash, fruitful and flowering, summer's setting splash. The snow hangs heavy, limbs weighed down with art, leaving a path, a hole in sacred heart. Ice fairies to and fro, corralling pleasures precious and freezing, relish their crystal treasures. All right. So that's the little foray into the heroic couplet captioned photographs. I guess I should say, for those who are not into poetry, a heroic couplet is 2 lines of poetry, iambic pentameter that rhymes. So hence the name of that manuscript is Heroic Couplets. So again, my shameless plug, follow me on Substack if you need a little dose of images and poetry. Okay, the next things I wanted to highlight, I thought I would focus on a couple journals, highlight some of the journals that I've had success publishing in. So the next one I want to talk about is Think, a journal of poetry, fiction, and essays. And so for my fellow classmates online tonight, they are receptive to formal poetry. So meter and form and rhyme is welcome. So the first one was published in fall 24 and is called Grandfather's Winter Coat. And for my relatives online, I have embellished some of the details. So it's not completely 100% accurate. Grandfather's Winter Coat. Dated and winter heavy hangs the coat, a hand-me-down from cold Dakota days where winds walk unencumbered, blind and rote to Minnesota. Wool and lined, it stays closeted, mothball bound, too warm for East Coast canopy, where weather trips to know hollow and hill. A pocket holds a creased embroidered handkerchief, a long ago silk sentiment, retained and safely stowed. The other pocket nests a tufted leather brown button, lost, found, and needs to be sewed, a funeral card, a linen bow, a treasure trove of dime and 2 nickels. It's cold today. Virginia's mercury pushed down below. I go and get the wool coat and put it on. Feeling around the pocket for the loose button, I find the weight of winter drifts and grab the twine that anchors barn to house in blizzards blind. With generations past, I touch the line. And then from the same journal, from Think, in the fall of 2025, so this just came out, this poem is called A Variation on a Closing Hymn. And for people here, some of my friends are logged on. This is about the recessional music played after Mass at our church, at St. Patrick's Church. So Variation on a Closing Hymn. The final verse concludes, hymnals are closed, kneelers are stowed, and whispered courtesies spread through the church like birds on a breeze. That sudden fuss of flittering transposed into a distant whir of soaring flight. Until the organist begins to play again with swoop and rise and climb. His spray of notes and chords recalls the tune. The might of rich raw umber rumbles dark and low beneath his feet. His left hand blocks the scene with chords of sage and zeal and leaf. His right hand adds hot honey flecks and citron glow. He makes the tune a sparrow, roused and keen to venture out, delivering delight. And then, let's see, I think I have one more in this plan for this set before I turn it back over to John. And so this poem is called Obedient to the Point of Fruit. And it was published this past summer in the Orchards Poetry Journal. Again, I find for my schoolmates, I find them quite receptive to formal and rhyming poetry. And this is a sonnet. Obedient to the point of fruit. I should also say that this is kind of a series of poems where I'm trying to redeem certain words. And so like you hear the word obedient or obedience, and I think like contemporary culture balks at that. They don't want to talk about obedience. So the kind of like project behind this poem is to actually embrace obedience. So obedience, constraining claim that checks the apple's plucking, hangs with heavy forms and gravity around our naked necks. It offers grace, but we mistake its norms. We fight with calla thump and chivalry. We bang con brio, obstinately keen to celebrate and mock authority, to pick the gravitatum while it's green. Can yoke be light? Can bounds of willful hush allow for melody and fruitful flavor? Within the yield lies life's vitality. Surrendering bloom, the ordering bee-like brush, the sun-fed, swelling fruit. Follow and savor the sight, abundance in the apple tree. All right, thank you. Now, back to John.
Thank you, Maura. Those are awesome. I'm just going to read a couple more from the new book. All right, so this one is called A Bar Scene. The woman next to me decides to crack my chosen solitude by asking if I'd like to hear about the drama from her life. I'm too nice to tell her no, so I say sure, giving up my peaceful meal. Her hair's a mess. It's clear she hasn't slept. We're the only two up at the bar, and it's lunch, so it's Nighthawks in reverse. She says her boyfriend of 11 years has been talking to an ex. She said she's seen the text and asked what I think she should do. He sneaks away to take some calls, and she asks who called, then begs, pleads, and he won't say. I think this all sounds bad, red flags. She says, you sure? And asks the waitress too, another yes. You know this isn't good, she says, then goes to grab another meal. Woman says she stayed in a hotel last night and says, I don't know what to do. She tells me she confronted him, and he said, why don't they go through her phone as well? She says he got up in her face enraged. I say she needs to break it off, like now. I sympathize, but I can't really help. I wish her luck, and she says thanks. The pain's all in her eyes. She asks for one more drink. The conversation dies. I eat my meal. The silence has returned. I pay and leave. The bar is now empty, save for her. I see her food's untouched. She sinks into her phone. This one, let's see here. This one is called Dawn. It's also quiet now. The streets are empty, dead, like corpses in a war. Each street a fallen man, so lifeless, still and dark. A sliver at the edge, and then the bluing of the looming pitch. The end of dark, the birth of light. So soft at first, just barely there. The whoosh of distant cars. The sun cocoon no longer, burning free and bright, like blazing torches all along the sea. I feel myself become myself alive. The city quakes with breaths, with joy, with life. We greet the light and let the day begin. Let's see here. I'll do two more. This one is called The Sorrowful Mysteries. I got laid off today. Hail Mary, full of grace. Spent decades at this place. The Lord is with thee. Blessed. They told me then I left. Are you among women? What will I tell my wife? And blessed is the fruit. I found my rosary of thy womb, Jesus. Oh, it looks better on the page. It's weird to read. And pulled it out and prayed, Holy Mary, Mother of God, please, Lord, don't let me drown. I held my breath and drove. God, pray for us sinners now at the hour, and saw the world as pain or death. Oh, my Jesus, how many people in? Forgive us of our sins. These buildings got the axe. Save us from the fires, the same that I did of hell. Lead all souls. So many need some air to heaven, especially. Will you help us breathe? Those in most need of thy, all we need is mercy. And then This one is called Moments. Yeah, that one was like, that was an experiment. It like looked cool on the page, and I was like, reading this is weird. So I may have to keep playing around with it. So Moments. We're out to eat right now, our favorite place. It overlooks the ocean. I hear the waves. They're misting to the shore slowly, slowly. The lights are dim. I take a beat to look into your eyes, and in them I see all that was and is. There is no food. The table now is gone. The restaurant has lost the time. It's only us, our gaze. I reach across the black and hold your hand. Great. Well, thank you, everybody.
All
Thanks,
right.
John. Mark, close us out.
All right. I have two. The next two are some poems that were published by Solid Food Press. So again, for my classmates, if you have not found that journal, they seem to be receptive to form and formal poetry. This first one is called Hold Me Whole. It's actually a bit more of a prayer. And if you have ever attended through Catholic Literary Arts, one of their happy hours, which I moderate, you've probably heard this before because it's usually how I start the happy hour. And this one and the next two, the next three, kind of all engage with the idea of paradox in some way or another. So just kind of look out for that. Okay, so again, this is a little bit more of a prayer, and it was published just this October on Solid Food Press's website. Hold me whole. Beloved Jesus, you pursue me. I bring you the chaos of the day, that you will be my calm. I bring you the noise of the day, that you will be my silence. I bring you all my unfinished tasks, that you will complete my daily prayers. I bring you all my frustrations, that you will love them like little acts of love. I bring you my sadness, that you will be my joy. I bring you my worries, that you will be my comfort. I bring you my responsibilities, that you will take charge of my soul. I bring you all the ways I feel divided, that you will hold me whole. I bring you all I do for others, that through my hands you can do your will. Beloved Jesus, I am yours. I bring you these things because you are my all. I give you these things so that I may be renewed. I surrender these things so you will reign in me. Beloved Jesus, you know I love you. And then the next poem again was just published on Solid Food Press's site, and it's called For Laughs with Seriousness. For laughs, I roll around in tragedy, tangling my hair with plausible debris, the gummy wads of loss and cost and feud, the straws of sorrow hollowed, haystack-hued. With seriousness, I comb the comedy, looking for little lauds of truth. I see many a reasoned reed, filled more and less with messy blessings and a blessed mess. I tug the tangle, wrangle certainty, but find my comb still caught in mystery. This seriousness is knotted thoroughly with laughs, untying all the tears in me. This next one, so still in the paradox category, was published with Ecstasis magazine. It was in their issue 10 print edition, which I can't remember the date. I think it might be a year and a half ago. but it's also on their website. So again, for my classmates, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with Ecstasis magazine. This is called Struggle and Doxology. And it does have an epigraph, and it's by C.S. Lewis. So here's the epigraph. An enchanted forest requires a margin, even an elaborate border. Struggle and Doxology. Uniquely ordinary, more at ease with weakness as a strength, time is away at endless play, and days plant paradox. Small purple Bothanans that hide and seek within the common either or, and bloom by standing on their heads. They wave their legs and walk upon the sky, a living line of pilgrim filigree, a holy edge of foolishness, mysterious contradictions that riddle boundaries round our being be. When time returns, we are particular and held, beheld, and beautiful as born. Behold, we're drawn with discipline, both bound and free, both struggle and doxology. I guess you can see I'm still trying to rehabilitate discipline in that poem also. All right, and the next, I have two more, and then I'll be done. I think I'm still good on the time. So again, I think this one is still kind of in the paradox category. This was published in the fall of 24 by The Branches, a journal of literature and philosophy. And it's titled The Necessity of Awe. Again, a little miracle appears, and I feel its brilliance, searching skein for sigh and wonder, source of golden gain, but end up tangling it with wondering tears, with grit and paradox purling the knot. Scrutiny tightens with each testing pull and ties up reason, wound and wonderful, within a tat of buzz and hum and thought. And still I analyze, my needle pries into the heart of each and every knot, seeking to loosen thread and gleam, but not to lose the gold, the size, the sweet reprise. And then I see 100 golden bees, gilded with awe and pure belief, surrounding the spool unquestioningly. The hive's astounding purpose rings true and puts my mind at ease. And then my last poem is one of my favorite poems that keeps getting rejected everywhere. I just love it, so I suppose I'm submitting it to everyone here tonight, and I hope you will enjoy it, because obviously no one else does. Anyway, it's called The Way of Wood. Joseph and Jesus, side by side, are working their way with wood. The workshop, hidden school, is well tooled. They carve and chisel lurking burls in the wood, strip thorns, and plane the bidden groans of the grain to take and carry weight. Small shaved curls of quiet keep their toil always at hand, and fingers contemplate their carpentry, their sweat, their blood, the oil of happy mastery. Did Joseph know? Prophetic carpenter working the wood, did he foresee son's Calvary, the flow of future blood? It was a fatherhood that loved the way of wood. So when across son's back, his presence could creak in the cross. Thank you, everybody. back to you, Christopher.